one piece of advice that I keep hearing is choose your heart. But this morning I woke up wondering, who decided that life had to be hard in the first place? I came across this post that talked about this idea. It said, choose your heart or heart will choose you. And first of all, I want to say that I like this person, someone I follow. She has millions of followers and makes millions of dollars. So she clearly knows what she's talking about. I'm not criticizing her or this sentence specifically, but what I want to explore with you is what's the kernel of truth in what she's saying and what's actually misleading. And this is what I've concluded. What I concluded is that the key is to choose, to decide your priorities, to have clarity on your priorities. And the part that is misleading is that it actually has to be hard. Let me use her examples and then I use some of my examples too. So one of her examples, she talks about being fit is hard and being fat is hard. So first of all, there is a lot of judgment in this sentence, because who said that being fit has to be hard? If you had a realization that you want to take care of your body and that you want to move and exercise, and you find a way of exercising that is fun for you, that's not hard. And if you haven't had that realization and you are what others will label as fat, then like for example, my grandmother, she was fat. She could be considered fat, but she was the happiest person in the world and she really enjoyed eating good food. So that was not hard for her. So there are a lot of assumptions and judgment in these absolutisms that are used in social media. And here's where I want us to be responsible, because people use these claims to get clickbaits or as marketing hooks, but they can be damaging because they are not actually saying what they mean to say. They are disguising it into this macho philosophy that life has to be hard and let's push and strive and force things because money doesn't grow on trees. So we all have to work very hard to achieve what we want. And that's really, really a misunderstanding and is, as I say, very misleading. And then the other example she uses is you either choose to be an entrepreneur, which is hard because, of all the things you have to do that, or choose a 9-to-5 job and have someone else to be your boss. And again, it's very simplistic because I've done both of those things. I've run companies and I work in other people's companies, and none of them, yes, they were long hours and there was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed it. I love my bosses, I love my colleagues, I love what I was doing. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then with my own business, yes, there was work and there was a lot of focus. And again, none of that had to be hard. In fact, it took me some time to realize that hard was bad for the bottom line. So when I was striving or pushing or trying to make things happen, it actually created more mental noise. And the moments where I focus on enjoyment and having fun and pushing less, there was more clarity of mind, there were more creative ideas, there was more momentum, things feel felt easier. So it's a bit of a misnomer, this thing of choosing your heart. But again, there's a kernel of truth in what he's saying. And what he's saying is choose your priorities. So you are starting out and you decide, I'm going to spend this amount of time focusing on my business. And then I'm also going to prioritize my physical and mental health. And I'm going to prioritize some nourishing time with a handful of friends and also do this hobby I love, let's say, for example. Then you've chosen, you're clear on that. Those are your priorities. That's not hard. You can do all those things with great fun and ease. So none of that has to be treated as a chore or something to push or strive or to make happen. So this is my ramble for today. I hope this is the first of many rambles. If you enjoy this, please let me know by subscribing, liking, or commenting. And I'm sure there's many more things I could be saying about this topic, but this is what's coming to mind right now. And so yeah, the question I'm leaving with is, what if right now I don't have to choose my heart, but listen for what feels exciting and fun and useful, actually. So anyway, that's me for today.